presenting Emilio, the Honey Badger Urrutia.
I'm JP Mestanza. Now here's the news you need to know.
Welcome to the Honey Badger Hour, episode 37. We're back, and today we're joined by our special guest. I would like to introduce our next guest. He's a chin-strap savage, neck-grabbing assassin, ADCC bronze medalist and Nogi world champion, and the Turkmenistan wrestling champion, Josh the Hinger Teen Hinger. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. That's how we do it in Thailand, right?
Oh yeah, Sawadee Cup?
Sawadee Cup.
Oh.
Yeah, things are good, bro. Things are good. How are you doing, bro? You just had a fight.
Oh yeah, man. All good, healed up. The fight was actually it was pre-recorded, yo. So people don't know it aired on Friday, but it's already been like 10 days, so I'm all right, you know. I'm all healed up and injury-free. I already had the time to get over the loss or whatever, so I'm feeling good, man. Just in quarantine now, so doing our time.
Yeah.
Paying the cost now.
It's probably worse than fucking taking the L, having to fucking burn 2 weeks of your life in the hotel room. Bro, I've been trying to think about how I can get my ass to Thailand again, but I don't want to quarantine, man. What's a quarantine like?
It's a tall order, yo.
It's 2 weeks or it's 1 week?
It's 15 days. It's not even 2 weeks. The first day doesn't even count. So when you arrive to quarantine, the first day is day 0. It's the craziest thing.
And you have to pay for the hotel yourself, like the 2 weeks?
Yeah, so no, like I got lucky, like my fight promotion paid for it. So like one paid for the quarantine and everything like that. But like, if the regular people who are coming, I think they got to pay, you know? Yeah, for sure. So or like you gotta get COVID insurance. It's a pretty long process to do, kind of crazy. But there's actually a lot of people in this hotel quarantining, it seems like. So hopefully things start to pick up, man. Maybe with the vaccine they'll start to loosen the restrictions.
Is the hotel charging a normal rate, or they lower it a little bit, or they jack it up?
Ooh, I'm not sure. My buddy actually stayed at this hotel and he paid for it. So I would have to ask him, but I'm not sure. But I think they have I'm sure they jack it up. I'm sure they got some crazy. Yeah. So it's kind of a hustle here.
It seems like the thing to do, right? It's jack
man, yeah. They can't accept tourists during it. So like they're either just a quarantine hotel or they are a hotel that can accept like guests, but who would do that because there's no tourists. Right. So it's the only way they're making money.
Man, I'm trying to get.
And it's kind of I'm sorry?
I want to get to Thailand, bro. It's number 1 on my list right now. I'm trying to get out of here. I hate not traveling.
Well, I mean, they just came up with some provisions this past weekend. They're making some proposals, and they're saying that the earliest they might be able to shorten the quarantine is in October. You know, given if you're vaccinated, if you have all your vaccines done within the 3 months before you travel, and by the time you come here and you can maybe do a 3-day by then, or it might already be done with by then. Who knows? But they're saying October.
That's so far away.
Yeah.
I was hoping for May.
Yeah, even the summertime. Remember, like it was just 2 weeks to slow the spread or something. Or what happened to that?
Right.
It's crazy, yo. Like nothing has changed. It's been a year.
Bro, we're anniversary.
But hey, yeah, fuck. Yo, you guys were killing. Hey, Josh, I was loving the podcast in the beginning of quarantine. I was listening to. You guys had some good. I like those live stream episodes you guys would do. It was a little bit different than the podcast with the with regular guests, but those live stream chats were pretty fun, man. I like the context. I remember I was doing hill sprints in the quarantine, and I was listening to a few of those. The live stream ones were different, you know?
Yeah, it was, we had a good thing going, but like once the COVID happened and everyone got locked down, it's like, what the fuck were we going to talk about? We just kind of lost our momentum because there was no competitions, no one's training. All we could talk about is COVID, and we can complain about that. And then the jiu-jitsu community just took a hit, bro. It's not the same. It's just not the same anymore. And, Keenan has his gym, so he's super busy. It's difficult to get with him. We have like kind of opposite schedules. Like I'm free on the weekends. He's free on the weekends. I'm free during the week. I'm usually gone doing something on the weekends. So it's been difficult, man. And I got sick of people complaining, man. People just fucking complain about anything and everything. It's like, man, fuck you guys. Like, I don't need this. I was just doing it for fun, man. I made a little money. It wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't need it. But like, I'm not going to put all this effort into something that people are just going to bitch and complain, you know? It's probably the minority. I don't know. What do you guys think? You got 37 episodes on your podcast now. You hear a lot of people talking shit or bitching, complaining?
Nah, because we don't have enough people to care yet.
We're still building. We're still building.
You know what I'm saying? We get 37 people. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get like 15 likes. You feel me? So we haven't got that yet. But I think that's a good problem to have, bro. That means when you made it, bro. When people are when you're having a problem that people are talking shit, I think that means you're doing all right, man. Because I love the podcast. Like, content was great. The arguments were like, you guys would argue, and like, I loved it, man. It was good content, bro. Like, yeah you guys. I was going to pick your brain about that a little bit. Because, you're a really good podcaster, dog. I don't know where you're better at, jiu-jitsu or podcasting, but it's like, it's just as good, man. You can hold a good chat, bro. I don't know how you're so smart, man. I don't know how you do that.
You just got to ask a lot of questions, man. You can't just get stuck on the topic. You got to let it roll, you know? Like, don't get stuck on, we're going to talk about this topic for 30 minutes. No, it's like, we're going to be talking about something. You're going to say something to me, and I'm going to be like, oh, shit, I want to know more about that. And I'm going to cut you off. And we're going to go off on this tangent. And that's just the best way to do it because then no one gets bored. You know, you can't beat the horse, you know, like you just got to change it up and don't even finish the conversation. Because sometimes I notice some podcasts, they talk. And then they end the conversation and then they're kind of like, so, about this other thing. And they bring in their new topic. But it's so much better if you just start cutting each other off and it's just going in different directions, you know, and who knows where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
I think that's my strategy, at least, you know. And me and Keenan are really good at interrupting each other.
You end up talking about like some open mat training session. Next thing you know, you're talking about conspiracy theories. The next thing you know you're talking about aliens, and we're talking about politics. And you're talking about like. Yeah, staff, women's rights in Afghanistan, like just keeps.
That's it, man.
Crazy to the next, you know.
That's it. As long as you understand that you're not the expert on anything, and like you just have to make a disclaimer, like, hey, maybe we're talking about women's rights in Afghanistan, and I'll be like, I don't know shit about what's going on in Afghanistan, but you know, I hope that things are getting better. You know, because people are, if you say something shit, and then you know, all the experts are going to jump in and be like, oh, actually, you don't know this and this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bro, I never claimed to be the expert. I'm just a fucking Joe Schmo having a conversation here. It's my opinion. I didn't say I was an expert. Bro, you're going to get so many people messaging you. You said this. And it's like, man, I was just having a banter. And they're going to be like, well, you said this. And actually, this is not accurate. And it's like, shut up.
Yeah, I guess it's the best thing to do. It's like it's hard to not worry too much about what you say too. I guess, right? Because like sometimes you can go on like you can go back and hear like, oh, I messed up this, I messed up that. Like you can just end up getting like real like judgmental on your own self and thinking you can't do it. You know?
You just gotta roll. Who cares, man?
Yeah.
It's okay to correct yourself. You can make mistakes. We're all human. Everyone makes mistakes. Sometimes though, you start talking about a subject, it's real touchy. And then you start like, okay, I want to say something, but you're not quite sure how to say it, you know? And you just got to kind of lay it out there. Like sometimes you have to play really safe. Like sometimes like there was like a sexual assault case or something that we were trying to talk about one time. And I was just like, man, I was getting real nervous, you know? I was like, I don't want to say anything that's going to get me like under fire. So you just be real careful about it. Maybe you mention it. Don't talk about details. And I don't know, bro. You're trying to talk about politics. Keenan loves to talk about politics too, man. I'm like, let's not do that. That's just no matter what, 50% of the people are listening are going to get pissed. And the other 50% are probably also going to get pissed. There's certain topics you just
it's a tough call. It's a fine line. Like, damn, do you tip that line where like you get that controversy going, or do you just keep it like, you know, keep it nice and fruitful where everybody can enjoy, you know? We haven't done JP, we hadn't done no controversy yet. I think we've been all right with the controversy. We've been pretty chill.
Yeah, for the most part. Well, it got a little tough last year because, like what Josh said, like there were times where with this whole pandemic, like it was just what the hell else are you going to talk about? You know, so I mean,
Politics.
Yeah, exactly. It became like such a hot button issue. It became like everything.
And everyone gets so angry. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Everyone's going to get angry. It doesn't matter if you're taking the liberal side or you're taking the conservative side. It doesn't matter. People are just going to get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because it's no matter what you do, it's the other 50% disagrees. Like literally half disagrees. It's crazy.
You're always going to piss off 50% of your audience. Always. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Yo, and how's California been with the restrictions, man? You haven't been able to train since the COVID started?
So Alto's closed for 6 to or 8 weeks in the beginning. I think we opened back up like around sometime in May. And I did we lose it? Emilio, you still there?
I'm here. Go, sorry.
And then we opened back up, but we were just kind of like to be honest, man, after like a month or 6 weeks or something, me and my buddy would start going to the gym. And Andre was always there recording his online class for everybody. You know, he would put everyone switched over to online format. And Andre was always there, so I knew the gym was open. So I called my buddy. I'm like, hey, let's go hang out with Andre. You know, it's a big gym. We don't have to get close to each other. We can stay away. And we're just hanging out, man. We just wanted to like see each other, you know, and just see our friends and talk. And then, of course, when we're on the mat, we're like looking at each other. I'm like, hey, you have your gi? Like, let's train. So then we started training, and I was like, oh man, it felt so good, you know, after not training for 6 weeks. It felt so good to train. And so then Andre trained with us, and then, you know, a few weeks later, someone else showed up, and then we started building, and we had this little secret training, you know, it was like 8 to 10 guys. And I don't know. And then eventually Andre just got pissed, and he's like, I'm not going to keep my business closed. This is ridiculous, you know, and he opened it back up, and it's been open ever since. So we've been training like normal. But man, I know some places in Chicago, for example, they just opened like last week or something, last month. They were closed for the whole year. I would die.
Some gyms aren't even doing like full contact. Like I think in Korea and Singapore, they had like some weird rule where the gyms were open, but they couldn't like touch each other. So they could only do like bag drills or do like, imagine going to a gym and doing Jiu Jitsu solo mat drills on the mat for an hour, you know?
I saw that.
Like drilling triangles in the air. It's crazy, yo.
Saw them doing that in Chicago, bro. They'd have little tape. They'd tape a little square, and that was your square, and you had to stay inside your square.
Oh my god. Sounds like torture. Hey Josh, was that like the longest period you haven't done jiu-jitsu? Like 6 weeks outside of injury?
I think so, man. Yeah, I think so. Like since I was a blue belt, like maybe when I was a blue belt, I took 2 years off when I was traveling. And, but yeah, I think that 6 weeks was probably the longest stint of non-training that I ever did. You know, and part of me was like, okay, I can use this to heal my body. You know, my body was fucked up. My ear was like always ripped open here. I could never heal. It would never heal, man. For 1 year, I think this thing stayed ripped open. And then during that lockdown, it healed. And I was like, oh, wow, finally it healed properly and it's all good. Of course, 1 month back into training, it ripped open again. But now it's all good, so I feel good about this. Man, this thing was really annoying. I had this little cut here. Just every time it would get hit like this, you know, it would open. So, you know, yeah, let the body heal. I was running a lot, you know, to keep myself active, but fuck, I lost a lot of weight, man, from all the running. Couldn't lift any weights. I was just running every day, so of course I lost weight, man. And like, you don't get hungry, you know? I wasn't hungry. I was eating like 1.5 meals a day and maybe a protein shake or something, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough, man. So I lost a lot of weight, and I was like, fuck, I need to get back. So then I called Andre. I said, hey, can I use your garage? He has a all the weights in his garage. And so then I started doing that, and then I started I felt really good. I would go in there like super sad and like depressed and pump out some weights, and I would walk away like feeling like a new man, bro. It's unreal how important exercise is for your mental health. It's fucking unreal. The idea that we needed to lock everyone down in order to keep us healthy is fucking stupid. You know, it's just fucking like they closed the beaches. You couldn't even go on the beach, bro. How are you going to get COVID on the beach? How?
It was crazy, yo.
That's like the one place I want to socially distance. I don't want to be near anybody.
You're not going to be near anybody. You're going to stay 10 feet away from everyone. It's hot as fuck. The wind is blowing. Like, get out of here. You know, I was thinking about it when I was driving today. I remember this. There was this like, let me see if I can find it on my phone, man. It was this stupid propaganda poster that I saw. It was like, if you could see the virus, would you still go outside? And it had a picture of Times Square, you know, and it was empty. There's viruses everywhere and floating in the air and like on the buildings. And I just thought, what a piece of shit propaganda poster.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's scaremongering, right? That's called fear porn.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. If you could see.
Yo, you can have a ringworm on your face, and I'll still roll with you if I know it's not staph. I'll be like, oh, it's ringworm? Oh, no worries about it. Let's train, bro. I don't care. I got a fight coming up. You know, I got to get these rounds in. You know, it's like, yo, you gotta like, people gotta cut their arms off. People let their arms get to the point where like it's about to fall off with staph, that they keep training because they don't know what it is and they just want to keep training. And you're gonna tell people if you knew the virus was outside? That's crazy, bro.
Bro,
it's like, don't ever drive your car, you know? Don't ever go out and drive again because you probably have a better chance of, you got the same chance of getting hit by a car, bro.
That's what I said. I said, man, driving is the most, you know, there were like, people were talking shit about like, oh, you're putting other people at risk. And I thought, motherfucker, have you ever sped over the speed limit in your life? Because if you did, you were endangering everyone around you. Did you ever roll through a stop sign and not stop all the way? Because if you did, you're endangering everyone around you. Look at this. I found it, bro, right there. Look at all those viruses all over the place. if you could see it, would you still go outside? Like, what the fuck is
this? Shit looks like Tiger Muay Thai in high season, dog.
How stupid does this look now?
That's all the people in Tiger Muay Thai with different body fluids, you know, giving you staph on. That's crazy, man. And I'm sure Alto's the same thing. You guys have like international mats, right? People from all over the world are always in the mats grinding it out.
Always. I mean, not so much international right now. It's just a lot of Brazilians and Americans. But, you know, it's crazy. People, when they want to come to the U.S., they can go stay in Mexico for 2 weeks. And then they can walk across the border in TJ, and they can come.
Really?
All the Brazilian guys did. Yeah, so all the Brazilians have done it. They stay in Mexico for 2 weeks. They hang out on the beach, train a little bit there. Then they just come to the border, and they walk across, and it's all right.
Wow.
But I got some. That's crazy.
Yeah, but the European.
I got to tell some family in Peru to do that.
Yeah. I have a European friend. He stayed 2 weeks in Mexico, and then he flew to San Diego, and they turned him around. They said, no, you can't come here. And if you try again, you're going to get a 5-year ban.
Whoa.
But the Brazilians did it. I don't know what the fuck the difference is. It's crazy, bro. The rules make
crazy,
sense, man. So I just don't understand, bro.
Yeah,
like, we need to be exercising. You know, they're like, oh, the virus is affecting all the obese people, and yet we're all supposed to stay inside our house and get fucking obese. You know, like it doesn't make any sense. You want us to be healthy, but you close the gyms. Fuck, it's so nonsensical.
No, I'm sure you feel too. Like for me, like training is like my savior. You know, training is like the only thing that makes me feel normal half the time. You know, that's like my way out. That's my release. You know, like exercising those demons. You know, you ain't got no time to be thinking about nothing crazy. Like you don't really have no time to be feeling sorry for yourself or thinking about other. When you just train and you're exhausted and you can't move your body, that's the only thing you feel so good after. You know, it's like the best feeling. It's like the best de-stressor, you know. I always realize I'm always kind of doing crazy when I can't train for a while, you know. Like to go 4 days without sweating, it's usually a problem. I start making bad decisions, and then they got us locked up in the house for months.
I just get angry. I just get super angry and like just dark, you know. I just get so pissy. And man, people, you know, they should be encouraging everyone to exercise. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. People, they need to get outside and they need to exercise. They need to be healthy. Like we're fat as fuck, you know, like we're number 2. No, we're number 1 now. Last year or maybe 2 years ago, we were number 2. Mexico was number 1 because of all the tacos and cerveza, right? But now USA is number 1, bro. We're the number 1 fattest country in the world.
I was watching this documentary on the FDA where it was talking about like the high fructose like corn industry, like how there's sugar in everything, man, and like these lobbyists, like in the FDA, like the way the food pyramid was built, it was all a sham, bro. Like the food that they're giving us and like the grocery stores, like the American people, it's pretty crazy compared to other countries, like how diluted and how watered down our food sources are compared to other people from like other countries, you know. Like we were just talking to our buddy Anvar from Uzbekistan. He was talking about how he drinks cow straight out of the cow's titty. He would drink milk on his farm growing up, you know. And he's one of the strongest people I know. I was like, damn, that's why you're so strong, bro, because you've been drinking cows straight from the freaking. You've been drinking milk straight from the cow and mountain people. You know what I'm saying? Out here eating goats and shit, you know. We're over here.
Hey, when I was in Turkmenistan, that's what it was like too, bro. I lived on a farm with a family. We had goats, we had chickens, we had cows, and we had milk from the cow. We would kill the goats and eat the meat. We would grow the corn, grow the potatoes, grow the grapes and everything else we needed. And, and then the chickens lay the eggs, and whatever we have, we can trade with our neighbor. They got some other shit. Bro, I don't want to get all gross on you guys, but like, my morning shits were like perfect. Every morning it was like a perfect log. And that's like this is a very healthy thing, it's a point of health. And when you're here and you're eating all the preservatives and the added sugars and the fucking chemicals and all this added nonsense, bro, it fucks your gut up if you don't watch what you're doing. I just recently kicked out my roommates. I had roommates for like the past couple of years, and I just kicked them out because I couldn't deal with their shit anymore. And we have a kind of a small kitchen. And so because they were always paying me the rent, I felt like, okay, I'm going to let them use the kitchen as much as they want, and I can just eat out. And I would always eat out every night, lunch and dinner, eat out, always. I would make breakfast here, but for lunch I ate somewhere and dinner I ate somewhere. And bro, this past 2 weeks, I've just been cooking for myself every day, lunch, breakfast, dinner, and I feel so much better, like so much better. Because, there's just all this added shit in this food. Anytime you buy food from a restaurant or whatever, even not fast food, but I don't eat fast food, but like, this is just not as healthy as if you buy the vegetables and chop them up yourself. Buy the raw chicken and cook it yourself. It's different. It's different. I feel better. I train better this way because there's just so much added bullshit in the food.
Yeah, there's something really, when you cook you have complete control and everything that it's putting into your food. So I feel like that's always like a good thing, like you can always gauge exactly what's going on because you don't even know how much sugar and stuff is put in all those sauces that you eat in the restaurants, right? Yeah, you go to Nando's or like the Chipotle and the chicken might be good, but we don't even know what it's buried in before you even eat it. So it's always good to know what you're eating, man. Hell yeah.
You don't know how much fucking pubic hair they dropped into it, You have no idea. I'm just saying, it's real. Bro, I'm just saying, I feel better in training. Like there's something to it. I didn't just make it up. It's not like a placebo effect. Like I really do just feel better. So I know there's something about it,
Take away all those extra oils, take away any of the high fructose corn syrup, that extra water from the frozenness that they use in the restaurants.
Right.
Just unnecessary crap.
Salt. Think about how much all that food had to stay frozen. It's probably loaded with salt.
Yeah, but that's there. And then, oh man, I never even thought about that. It's so true. And Josh, so you haven't been able to compete since the COVID, right? Have you been able to teach? Have you been teaching still pretty consistently?
Not so consistently. Yeah, it's been kind of hit and miss, man. I did okay. I did okay last year. I had a pretty good year, but the thing is, I know how to trade stock, and I trade stock options really well. And because the market crashed, I took all my seminar money that I had, I put it in the market. And I bought all these stock options when the market was recovering. So I made a killing. And that's, I ended up making more money last year than I did the year before.
Can I ask you something? Yeah. GameStop?
No, I don't fuck with that.
I was about to say, I was curious. Anyway, keep going.
I didn't fuck with that, no. Bro, there's so many other things. I don't understand why they were so obsessed. I understand the short squeeze and if that was their game plan the whole time. But there's so many other great You can't go wrong right now, bro. Everything's a good buy. Everything's going to recover.
Yeah.
You can buy Apple right now as a killer buy. Any of the banks, like there's so much, all the airlines, like everything's a good deal right now, you know? It doesn't really matter what you bought. You just got to buy something and hold it. So I did pretty well last year because of that. I didn't really need to teach. I did a big seminar tour in the beginning of the year in Australia. I did like 6 weeks there, and I knocked out like 25 seminars or something. And that kind of set me up for the whole year. You know, I just had this pile of cash that I could sit on, and then I just played with the market all year long. Now, I got a few seminars, maybe like 1 or 2 a month or something like that. But also the turnouts are not always as good either now. You know, some people are afraid and some people are nervous about getting caught. They can't really advertise it very well, right? It's kind of like hush-hush, like underground seminars. I did compete once last year. I did the Master Worlds, and I won double gold for the Master 2 division. I'm old as fuck.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was in December. It was the last term of the year, and I felt so guilty. I went the whole year without doing a competition. I thought, fuck, I got to do at least one. So I went to the Master Worlds, and bro, for 5 straight years, I took silver at that tournament, and then finally I won it. And then I jumped in the open class, and I won that too. So I was stoked about that, you know. And you know, I'm with Tatami. And I felt bad because they were a great company. You know, they treat me really well. Like, really, they treat me better than any other company I've ever been with. And I felt guilty that I didn't compete the whole year, and they paid me for the whole year, you know. And it's not my fault, you know. Of course, COVID happened, you know. But I just thought, man, they have every right to cut me whenever the contract is up. And it just ended. The contract ended 2 weeks ago, and they called me up. They're like, yo, we're doing another year? And I was like, yes, let's do another year. I was like, all right. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. We can't give you more and give you an increase this year. It's been a tough year. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm happy to just to still be here, you know? So shout out to Tatami. If you guys need a gi, go to Tatami.
No, shout out to Tatami coming through for your boy on the 2020 COVID tip. Now, hopefully 2021 will be a little bit better, huh?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna
so what do you love more?
What do I love more? What?
Oh, what do you think? What do you love more then? So you think you love competing more than teaching, or teaching more than competing? What is it like? How do you feel like? Because I feel like you get a lot out of both, you know?
Yeah, well, it's like this, man. I could make a few $1,000s and spend 6 weeks preparing for a competition and deal with all the social media bullshit and all the haters talking shit and having to promote the match. Or I can travel somewhere and do a seminar and earn like probably about the same, maybe a little less, but I get a vacation out of it. You know what I mean? Like I can go to Australia and knock out in 6 weeks. It's a perfect example. A training camp for a competition is about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks if it's a very important one, but minimum 6 weeks. And I'm going to get one paycheck for that fight. I go to Australia for 6 weeks. I bang out 25 seminars, bro. I walked away with half an annual salary for a normal person, you know, tax-free. So I'll take that any day of the week over competing, you know. Competing is important because that's the only reason people want you to come for seminars, right? You have to compete so that they want you. You cannot pass up seminars to compete. It doesn't make any sense. Because you compete to get the seminar. So when you have the seminar, you have to do the seminars. Competition comes second. Gotcha. Because it's like I don't know, it's like trying to like wash the food after you cooked it. You know what I mean? Like you wash the food so that you can cook it. You're not going to cook it and then wash it. It doesn't make any sense. So we always, you do the competition so that people want you for the seminars. If you have a seminar and a competition, you always take the seminar. Always. That's why you were competing the previous year, was to get that seminar. So you have to take advantage of those. And I like seminars, man. They're way fun. It's low stress. You get to hang out with people who like jiu-jitsu. You know, you're going to help people improve their jiu-jitsu. They're probably going to take you to their favorite restaurant afterwards. You know, it's a good time. It's a good time. You make new friends. And, you run into these people later on in the year at different tournaments, and you get to hang out with them. And, it's just a good way to make friends and make money. Seminars, 100%. Always.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. And that's a good way to monetize your jiu-jitsu and monetize your skill set, man. Never really thought about that, where like a lot of up-and-comers can see that too, you know what I mean? Like win some tournaments, win some big names, try to get some seminars. I heard Craig Jones talking about that, where I was like, damn, this guy kind of monetized jiu-jitsu in a way that I never thought about before, It was like very outside of the box. I kind of like that thinking,
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure all he does is compete, makes money, and seminars. But for sure, you're always going to make, especially, maybe now after COVID is different. I think competitions they don't pay as well, because there's no spectators. They can't sell tickets to the events. But at the same time, seminars can be difficult too, because the turnouts are not as good right now also. So it's hit and miss, bro. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, it's a grind. Online DVD sales have been doing really well though.
Yeah, right now especially.
DVDs.
That's the ticket. Online DVD sales, yeah. That's the money maker in the COVID era.
You have the Hinger team DVD, right? You have a front headlock system DVD, not right? If I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I got a couple of them, man. I got the guillotine the Hinger team is like the front headlock system. I have the sweep single takedown in the gi. It's like my best takedown. You just grab the collar and you do the and then I have the monoplata series, which I did. I think I did it in the gi for one website, and I did it no gi for a different website. So, but most of my stuff is on Jiu Jitsu X, which is Keenan's platform. It's a good format, man.
And you can get paid for all this later on, right? Like, and throughout the years, you can constantly be getting back for this, right? Like you put the work in the beginning, and then you can always, it's like a gift that keeps on giving.
Bro, it's one day to record the DVD, and you make money on it for the rest of the year.
Beautiful. Passive income.
I spent 2 days recording this DVD, and it's been almost a year. Not quite. That's like we're like 8 months. But yeah, every month I get a check, and I spent 2 days doing it.
And they look great too, right? Really high quality, slick videos.
Yeah, he did a really good job with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did. He really invested into it, and he bought really nice cameras. He decked out this big room in his gym. It's good. It's really high quality stuff. Yeah. And we put the microphone right here so you can hear really well. It doesn't sound like an echo, usually I remember the first DVD I made in 2016. I go back and I look at it. I'm like, oh, it's cringy. It's so bad. The quality is bad. But, we evolve and we change and we're doing better.
All right. Hey, Josh, I wanted to ask you, how did you get started in jiu-jitsu?
It's a stupid story. Yeah. I was a wrestler in high school, and it's so funny because I didn't even want to wrestle, but I was on the track team, and my track coach was like, "You need to do something in the winter, before track starts, and there's no running. We're not running, and And he's like, "You should go try wrestling," and I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I can run." He's like, just go try it. Just go try it. Go try it for 1 week and then you can come back and that's it. And I was like, fine. And I went to wrestling practice, bro, and I had my first practice and I got fucked up by everybody, but I loved it, It was super cool. So instantly I loved grappling. And so I wrestled for 4 years and it was my life. It was my life, man. I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to wrestle. And I told my parents one year, I was like, I don't want to get a normal job. I just want to wrestle. How can I wrestle for the rest of my life and just be a wrestler? And they're like, you're not going to make very much money, that's for sure. Maybe you can go to college, and after that, what do you do? The Olympics is your only option, and then you become a coach. That's it, right? And look at me now. It wasn't a thing back then, there was no grappling, the professional grappling circuit. So anyways, I graduated high school, and for maybe 2 years until I was 20, almost 21, I was just a shithead. I just partied. I'd go to the desert, ride motorcycles, party some more, ride more motorcycles, and just get in fights and just be an asshole. And one day I was just outside, washing my car in front of my house, and this guy drove past my house that I wrestled with, and I hadn't seen him in 3 years, and we just caught each other real quick, when someone drives by and you look, And then he stopped and he backed up and he's like, hey, what's up? And we just talked for a minute, and he was just like, yeah, I'm going to go check out this jiu-jitsu place that opens up tomorrow. It just opened in our town. And it was a guy named Chris Brennan. He's an old school UFC fighter, bro. He fought Pat Miletich when Pat was a champion, like old school. And he opened a gym in our town. So we checked it out the next day. I went and I bought some wrestling shoes. And I walked into his gym with my wrestling shoes, and he just fucking laughed at me. He's like, get rid of those. Those are not coming on my mats. And I did one class. I paid for the full year up front. I dropped like $1,000, like, bam, for the whole year. I was like, sign me up. And that was it, bro. I was hooked. And then the guy who brought me there, he paid for the whole year too. But he only trained for 1 month, and then he disappeared. I never saw him again.
Oh, wow.
Like, I always wonder what happened to him, too. I don't even remember his name. I vaguely remember what he looks like, you know, but I don't, maybe it was Brandon. I'm not sure, man. But he just, like, he vanished, and I think he joined the military or something. And I always wonder, I was like, man, that guy has no idea what he did to me, you know? He just, like, he changed, like, direction of my life, you know, just because of one stupid random meeting that we had by chance outside. Yeah, so weird. Do you ever look back, for both of you guys, do you ever look back and there's a moment in your life, like a defining moment where your life went from one direction and it stopped and it went in another direction? Like maybe like whatever got you into fighting MMA or whatever got you guys to move to Thailand. Like, do you ever think about what was the moment that the switch flipped in your brain? Like, what happened like in that moment to take your life in a completely different direction?
That's a great question.
What is it about people that do it too? There's like a big difference, right? Because it's just that moment, and that's all it is. The difference between not and doing, right? Like between becoming and not becoming, it's just that one moment.
Yeah,
I think about that all the time, bro.
Like, what got you into jiu-jitsu? Because look, Emilio, you started jiu-jitsu before you started fighting MMA, right?
Yeah. I started jiu-jitsu, like, I started jiu-jitsu first, you know? I signed up to an MMA gym, but jiu-jitsu became my love. I thought I wanted to be like a striker. I was like, I want to learn some hands, you know? I thought I wanted to like bang and shit. But then I learned jiu-jitsu, and then I fell in love with the grappling aspect, you know? I just fell in love with like the kind of like the grind of like wrestling and stuff like that. It was so much fun, right?
What got you to walk in the gym for that first day?
Man. It's like a culmination of things, you know, like the thing that got me to go in. I think it was like the not fear, because my whole life I kind of always wanted to do it, but I was always afraid to like go through that door, you know. It's like always been a thought in the back of my head, but it's something that I thought I could never do, or for whatever reason, like I let my fear hold me back from it, you know.
Yeah.
And like, it was like for me, like I always thought I was too old, you know. And then I saw a guy that was way old. I met a guy that he was like a friend of mine. He was like 36. And he showed me a video of him hitting pads. And to me, it looked like he looked like freaking Muhammad Ali. I couldn't believe that he was 36 and he was still moving like that and hitting pads, you know? Because I always thought I was too old. I always thought I was too old to get involved, because a lot of the people that were already my age were already kind of like successful, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like one of the main things that like maybe like follow through, you know?
And so what got you to move to Thailand?
Oh, so when I signed up to the gym, the first MMA gym that I signed up to, my coach Enrico and all these guys from this gym, they were all in Thailand. Like the whole team and all the coaches of the gym were in Thailand. So when I signed up to the gym, everybody, like the guys are talking to me, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm your assistant coach, but your coach will be back in 2 weeks. They're in Thailand right now, learning real Muay Thai, learning how to fight at Tiger Muay Thai, like learning the real stuff." And like they traded out, so they had like a deal where like a bunch of the people from the gym went. I don't know if you met Joe Ray, but like one of our friends of ours, but like Enrico, that's where Enrico was too. And then they came back like a few weeks later. They had all come back from Thailand.
Okay.
So they were in Thailand, and I was on YouTube and I saw it. So like in my first month of training, I was like, yo, I just want to get good enough so that I can go there one day, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a weird inception that was kind of like in the back of my head.
So let's go back to your first day at the gym. What did you see like that made you realize that gym even existed? Like, did you see an advertisement? Did someone tell you about it?
The guy brought me to the gym. Well, no, I went to a shitty gym first. That guy that I saw, my friend that was hitting pads,
Yeah.
he took me to his gym, and it was like a kickboxing gym. And I did MMA, and I did like the MMA class, and it was like the hardest thing I ever did. And like it was dope, but it looked a little bit rinky dink, you know. So I was like, yo, I want to definitely do this, but I got to find something a little bit more.
Okay.
And then I went and researched, but it was like YouTube. Like, then I went and researched and I YouTube, and I gym FFA from Miami pulled up, you know?
So that guy is the same guy as my guy.
Yes. Yeah. That guy is like was the main pillar, you know? There's been a few though, like a few people pushed me in that direction, you know?
He took you from the one path and he put you on another path. And now look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yo. Once I saw that it could be done, you know? When I saw that it could be done by him, I realized that I could do it too. So it's kind of trippy, man. You never know. And I was just doing, when you were telling me that story, I'm like, damn, right, that's some American ass shit too. I was like, when's the last time I drove by somebody and stopped and pulled back, you know? Like that's like some 90s. There might be like a movie in the 90s. Like,
keep driving.
A guy's like on the low rider passing by, you're just like riding your bike down the street. You're like, yo, Josh, what up? We used to see your boys in high school and you used to be driving and shit. Oh man.
JP.
That's crazy.
Is that a story?
I mean, to get into jiu-jitsu?
Just anything that, look, your life is not normal, like, you know, for a guy from Jersey, you know, you live in fucking Thailand. So what got you off the path of like normalcy and like put you on this other path that brought you to Thailand, you know? There has to be a moment, a defining moment where this happened.
It was like two freakouts, really. It was, I had just graduated college, and for about 2 years, I had been basically working as a newspaper reporter at a pretty gritty newspaper in a gritty city. And it was a slog, and I knew how much I was getting paid and how, like, it was just a difficult situation for the year. I did my job because I loved it. But throughout that whole time, I had to also work a second job on the weekends. So now I'm working 7 days a week for not as much money, and I understand the grind and everything. But then after my newspaper job let me go, the exact day, 1 year to the day they hired me, I understood like, oh, I'm just a number here. This whole business, and not, I have to preface it by saying throughout my whole time interning at different places, they had cut the staff in half, the product, whatever it was, a radio station or a TV show or a newspaper, they had cut that in half. So I saw the writing on the wall. And once it happened to me, I just remember walking. I wasn't mad then. I remember it was a Friday. I got my walking papers. The next day I was opening and closing the restaurant I was working at. And I remember closing the restaurant the next night, and I just thinking, and I had like a couple $100 in my pocket, and just thinking, fuck this. Like, fuck this. I cannot, like, I was sending out hundreds of resumes out, not getting anything back. I had been grinding at the restaurant for so long, and nothing was changing. So I'm like, one day I just saw a notice out there for a little small internship at a gym in Thailand. I'm like, whatever, it's something new, something different. I'm willing to go. And then the person called me back. When they called me back or they messaged me back, they loved me. And then a month later, I bought my ticket right there, right after the interview, a month later to go out there. We had agreed. And ever since then, I never looked back. Because once I got here and understood, like, oh, what you can do here and just life in general here. And
so you saw an advertisement. That was it.
It was it. It was an advertisement. But things, dissatisfaction had been growing until then, you know. So I think it was that.
So I have another story about I spent 2 years in the Peace Corps, living in Turkmenistan. And I remember the moment that I decided to do that. And I was in my apartment, and I was working on a paper for school, like during my undergrad, and it was my last year, and I was finishing up this paper, and I remember I was watching this movie called Shallow Hal. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Where he could see the people for their personality, and in that movie, there's two characters who were in the Peace Corps, and I was writing my paper, and the movie was on in the background, and I was just kind of like, look, and I was listening, and they were like talking about the Peace Corps, and I was like, what's the Peace Corps? And I Googled it right there. And I filled out my application on the spot. And that was it. And then I 1 year later I got accepted, and then I shipped out, and then I spent 2 years in Turkmenistan. And like, man, that had a huge effect on my life. That experience like changed me fundamentally as a human. And all because of that stupid movie I had on the background. Like, I could have had it on a different channel completely. And I always wonder, like, if I had it on a different channel while I was working on my paper and I never saw that movie, would I have ever done that? I don't know. And like, would I be the person that I am today? I don't know. It's purely by chance.
It's like that inception of thoughts that you get into your head. It's nuts, man. Like JP, when you've messaged, I would message Tiger Muay Thai every month for like 4 years, because I saw that first. I saw my friends when I started training. It was like in 2009. I didn't go till 2013. So for like 3 or 4 years, I was messaging the Tiger email. Hey, I'm saving my money. I'll see you guys in a month. Like I'd like just send random messages, asking questions and stuff like that. Looking at like hotels and restaurants on the underground forum and stuff like that, like just finding little things. It's funny how that works out,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Can I ask you something, Josh? Have you ever like, after that whole Peace Corps thing, because in the movie in Shallow Hal, it's Tony Robbins who's like cast the demons out. Have you ever met Tony Robbins? Because you're in Cali, he's in Cali.
No, I haven't. But I had a friend who applied to be on his team. But she didn't get hired. But I know. You guys good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Emilio, good?
Yeah.
Man, there's 1,000 tech problems that could go wrong with a fucking podcast, man.
Especially this international.
For real. I remember one time I was doing a podcast with an MMA fighter. It was the last one that I tried to do, actually. And the fucking cable died in the middle of the episode. 15 minutes into it, my cable just died. I thought it was the connection, but literally the cable was like shitty. So, sucks.
Fucking COVID, dog. And it's made made people like adapt and adjust, I guess. When you were doing a lot of live, you were doing a lot of in-cast episodes from before, right? Before the COVID.
Yeah.
And now we have to do like this. This is like a pain. It's hard to with the gaps and stuff like this and the reception. It's a pain in the ass, yo. And everybody has 3 different Wi-Fi streams, yo.
Yeah. In person's always better, man. But what are you gonna? You're on the other side of the planet. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, we move with the punches, baby. Like obviously when we started it, we were thinking like, we were on track to have a crazy year. You were gonna do a seminar here like in December, right? We had Brad was going to come with Alex after his title fight. Alex always does his pre-camps here. We would have been like, I would probably still been living in Phuket with JP, yo. We're all split up now, I'm in Bangkok. He's in Phuket. So.
Oh, you're living in Bangkok?
Yeah. I just moved here in December. Yeah, so.
Where are you training?
I just started a Bangkok Fight Lab.
Oh.
I just started a new job here, bro. It's actually like an unfortunate situation, but like it was like a good unfortunate situation because like, I've replaced Luke, yo. Luke went back home to America.
That's right. I did a seminar there. You know that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I love this place, man. It's been a tremendous gym, man. So I'm the new MMA coach here.
Does Lika still train there? Rika? Tiny Doll?
Yeah. Everybody still trains there. Yeah. They have the same crew, yo.
Nice. Cool. That's a cool gym. I really had a good time there.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been a real pleasure. It's like a real family vibe.
I think I stayed across the street at this really funny hotel that had like an outer space, like Marvin the Martian kind of like theme. Do you know which hotel I'm talking about?
I think so, maybe, possibly. Yeah.
You'll find out.
Oh no, I don't know where the gym was. I'm not sure. I think this gym might have been in a different location when you were here.
Oh, they changed it.
I think so. I believe so. Yeah. But. Yeah. Actually, they changed it, but I don't know where that old location is. But yo, the same people and stuff like that, and it's been a good spot, man. Like yo, what was the best thing? What was the like? I feel like this COVID, it's been terrible for so many people, and it's been rough. But it forced me to adapt, and I found some new hobbies, and like I'm getting better at other shit. Like I got a lot of new things that like I'm ready for, like to back me up from like that COVID has prepared me for. It's funny you're saying like the last reception is when I got really good at Jiu Jitsu because I got laid off from my job, and in 2010, I had just started training and I got laid off, and then I was able to train like 6 months like a professional athlete when I had no job.
Okay. Yeah, man.
So,
I mean, hey, challenges force us to evolve, and that's really what it is. Yeah, COVID is a big fucking challenge for everybody, and everyone's had to evolve, man. And I even had a talk with some of the guys at our gym. I said, look, I know you guys want jiu-jitsu to be your life, but you have to understand that anything can take down this industry. One stupid fucking virus and a bunch of government mismanagement, and the fucking industry got crushed, you know? And like, you really, even before COVID, you couldn't really make a good living doing jiu-jitsu unless you were at the top. You had to be top 1%. There's the only way you can make a good living, you know? And even now, being at the top 1%, like, it's still difficult. It's still difficult, you know? I'm comfortable. It's okay. But like, if you're a blue belt or a purple belt, and you're trying to make a living, you're like, you have no accolades, no credentials, you have nothing. You're just another fucking blue belt, as I always say. Just another fucking blue belt. And then some of them want to be full-time jiu-jitsu athletes, but you're a blue belt, bro. You have nothing. You have like 8 more years before you get a black belt, before anyone will give a fuck about what you have to teach. I say, maybe you guys should have a backup plan. You know? Jiu-jitsu is fragile. It's fragile, man. When something shitty happens, jiu-jitsu membership's the first thing to get canceled. Unless you're one of us and you're a psycho and you're obsessed with training, but that's not the majority. You know what I mean? We're the minority. Just the crazy people. We're just obsessed with jiu-jitsu because it's a cult. We need it for our mental health. But not everyone is like that. You know, most people for jiu-jitsu is just their hobby that they do for a few hours every day. So I try to tell some of these guys, like, man, you guys need to have a backup plan, you know, like start a business or something, have something lined up so that when, you know, the next fucking stupid crisis comes along, you'll be able to survive, you know? Because, bro, to be honest, I thought jiu-jitsu was dead. I was like, fuck, it's not coming back. It's going to get crushed, you know? And I thought for at least, you know, because they were saying, oh, we're not going to have normalcy until 2022. You know, luckily, like, this was like in April and May. And then, you know, when the riots happened here in the States over the summer, then I thought, we'll be okay. You know, like, no one wants to be locked up for the fucking 2 years, you know? Like, people are tired of this shit already. So I knew it would be all right. But just because you can get a bunch of people together in a garage and train doesn't mean you can make a living doing it. You know, like, yeah, they can't stop us from training. We're going to train no matter what. I'll put fucking mats in my living room and train if I have to. Doesn't mean you can make a living doing jiu-jitsu like that. If every jiu-jitsu gym gets taken down across the world or shut down, even in Mexico, they can't even train right now. Still, there's no training in Mexico. It has to be. It's all secret, underground shit. And you know, so anyone who owned a gym in Mexico got fucked. Fucked. Europe too. Europe is super fucked. No one, they're on like hardcore lockdown still, man. There's a curfew in Paris, bro. You can't be out past 6 p.m.
Yo, in Peru, in Peru, my grandma right now, she's like really sick. And bro, my mom is there and then the whole family's there, everything's good. But man, like, my cousins couldn't be at the house with the family on Sunday because they're women, or some crazy rule that they have in Peru with the lockdowns. Some ridiculous shit, like women go to the store on Tuesdays, men go on Wednesdays. There's just some crazy lockdown restrictions where like everything is fucked up in Peru, you know, in South America, like you said, you know, like, so yeah. You made a great post about this, about like the guys, like the full-time grinders that are just grinding, like they claim they're grinders and they just train. And that's all I love. I really love that post because I remember when we had Brad on the podcast and we asked him for the advice for up-and-coming fighters, and he was like, yo, his advice was to get a job and work ass off and still find a way to train and get better and make sure you love it without being able to make money from it. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a correlation between what we're saying and you were saying. We're like
exactly the same.
We're in this level of days where we get like these full-time. There's a lot of, you know, it is now that the sport is like plus 10 years old. You got a lot of people that have been training since they were kids and they never had other jobs, right? They just trained since they were kids and competed, and that's been their means of ways. And in the golden era, like just before COVID, that was becoming successful. You can make bread competing in seminars. But then it's kind of crazy perception, you know, like the older people always think, damn, I wish I was a kid that only knew jiu-jitsu, and then the recession comes, you're like, damn, it's a good thing I was a carpenter or a fucking waiter before I was a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got some backup, people who have some backup plans a little bit older, you know?
If COVID happened in 2015, I'd be fucked. You know, I'm just lucky that I was able to accomplish all the things that I accomplished before COVID happened, you know? From 2016 to 2019. Those are like my best years, you know? I won all the things I wanted to win, and I made a name for myself. And I've been able to like ride on that, you know? Like, even though like things suck right now, but I can still make money. It's no problem. But like, man, what if all this happened like in 2015, right when I first jumped into jiu-jitsu full time? You know, I wouldn't have made it, bro. No way. I would have no name, no reputation, no credentials, no accomplishments. I would have to go get a job. That's what I would have had to do.
What do you think? What was the worst? What would you think you'd be doing if you weren't training? Would you have a job?
I'm just thinking.
What job would you do right now? Line of work?
What would I have done? Well, I have a degree in finance. I'd probably try to. I don't want to though. That's the thing, man. It just like it pains me. You don't even think about working in a fucking office and having to fucking put my tie on every day. Just the idea makes me sick, bro. To be honest, I probably would have left the country. You know, I probably would have gone and trained somewhere. I probably would have gone to Thailand, live with Alex, and train at Tiger or something. You know, seriously, I would rather be poor, living in fucking Thailand, and training than fucking working a fucking office for $60,000 a year and then paying 90% of that into my bills and just being a miserable fuck. You know, dealing with some fucking asshole boss all day. No, I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. I would have left the country and I think.
You're probably like if you're born traveler. There's something about us. There's something about, I don't know what is in our blood type of people that like have that like willingness to like get out of their comfort zone and go, you know?
Adventure,
I've always been good about getting out of my comfort zone, you know? So like challenge, like things like that. So like, I feel you know what I mean? Like, man, I don't know, man.
It's all about adventure, man.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to be outside the box.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, yo, it looks like things are getting better. Hopefully these vaccines roll out. I said I wasn't going to get a vaccine. I thought I was going to go live in Big Buddha forever and never see nobody, but that's a lie. I went back on my word real quick, dog. I think to keep my work permit in Thailand, I got to get a vaccine anyway. So
I was going to say, bro, to travel?
Chip me up.
To travel for sure.
I'm trying to get some girls pregnant before. I just need to get a couple girls pregnant so I got some kids as insurance, just in case I become infertile or something with this fucking vaccine, dog. You know?
Yeah, man. I didn't want to get it. But if that's what I need to do to travel, that's what I'm going to do because I love to travel.
It's crazy, right? They got us, dog. They know our Achilles heel, man. Like, fuck.
I'm just trying to get out to New Zealand to help Izzy and Brad for their fights next year. So I'm gonna try to live out there for 3 to 6 months or something. So, and I know they're gonna want them. They want to see a vaccine for sure.
Yeah, bro. You were in New Zealand just before I was there. I just missed you when you were in New Zealand. You were in New Zealand training with the boys, right? With Izzy and Brad, and they were just in you were able to return the favor back in San Diego, huh? How good was it having the champ and the boys from New Zealand and
super
San Diego, man?
We had a great time, bro. Really, we had a really good time, man. Every day we found a new adventure. We trained, and then we just went and found some adventure, you know, beach or mountains or whatever. It was cool, man. It was a really good time. And Brad's going to come back next week. You know, he fights this weekend. Brad Riddell, he's fighting Gillespie in UFC, and then he's going to come back down to San Diego. We're going to hang out.
Oh, man, that's going to be tremendous. Yo, thank God he made it back just before his kid was born, bro. Oh, my God, that was crazy. When he was in San Diego, it was like any day his wife could pop, you know, or like when he returned, right? He was like cutting it within days or two. Oof.
Yeah. He made it.
That's crazy, man. But anyways, yo, Josh, that was great, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, my man.
Seriously,
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Yo, what's next for you? What's next? You have any agendas for 2021?
Man, I this summer I have a 3-day jiu-jitsu training camp in Costa Rica. It's gonna be super cool. I'm super excited about that. And there's a charity. That we're helping out for the kids the kids that don't, need help training jiu-jitsu. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. It already sold out, bro. They said it was the fastest sellout that they've ever had. So I'm excited about that. And I got a few seminars coming up, nothing major. I'm probably just going to get I'm trying to get a match on the Fight to Win maybe in April or so. I feel like I'm getting back into shape now. I feel good. Been training hard. So, well, I got to get up at fucking 5 a.m. tomorrow to train 6 a.m. class. That's what time we train now. That's COVID shit, training 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So the health department can't come fuck with us. So it sucks, but I got to do what I do, So, yeah, I'll get some matches going on this year, and, we'll see what happens. I'm not done yet. I got to keep active because ADCC is next year, and I'm definitely doing that. So,
ADCC has a nice one to come up for right now. Yo, you got third place in 2019, just before all the craziness, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck
So
yeah, man.
now it's going to be summer 2022 now.
So it got postponed to the evens. It was always in the odds. So it'll be like about 3 years to the next ADCC.
It'll be 1 year from now. Yeah, it's 3 years from the last one. Yeah, but yeah, for now it's about a year and a half from now.
Nice. And I wonder when the tryouts will be. Did they done the tryouts for 2021 yet or 22?
They didn't
Not yet, huh?
They have to do it this year now. Yeah.
Oh, that was always one of my bucket list goals, man. Hopefully these restrictions can see with the opening up for the to do the trials.
Do it.
Ooh, that's a good one, yo.
Enrico almost made it.
Yo, Josh, what's happening?
Enrico almost made it last time.
Yo, I think what did he get? I think he got second or third place. I think he got the invite though. He ended up getting an invite anyways. But yeah, he did the trials. He always does. He's done. Did you do the trials last? You didn't have to. Did you get the invite in 2019?
I won the trials.
You won the trials, which was like a gauntlet. Yo, these trials that year were crazy, huh?
Yeah.
How many matches did you have?
I had 6, and I had the bye, I think. Or it was 6. It was going to be 6. I had to fight 5. That's what it was. It was 6 total. 6 for the other guys. I had 5 because I had a bye. Yeah.
Yo, how the game has changed, man. It's good to see the evolution of the sport. So many people so many competitors. You know what I mean? Like, especially at the black belt level, to have 5 matches, that's like no joke, man.
No, it's cool.
That's a crazy bracket to get through. That's a real gauntlet, yo.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, the gauntlet? Do you prefer the tournament bracket, or do you like the super fights, yo? As a grappler, like, do you like tournament? You like the victory of the first place, like the getting through the people?
Tournaments have way more prestige because you got to fight a whole bunch of dudes. You don't get to pick who you want to go against, right? Super fights, you can pick and choose who you want to go against, and you can choose the style. Tournaments, you got to go against whoever's there. You don't make the bracket. You don't choose who shows up. And when you win the tournament, you're the fucking man because you just beat everybody. You didn't just beat one person. You beat a bracket of people. Way cooler, man. And plus,
He's a purist.
I always need one match to get warmed up too. So in a super fight, it's never a good performance. I like how in a bracket I have an easy match usually in the beginning, and then the matches get harder. But by the time I get to the harder guy, I'm really warm. I'm really fresh. I feel good. I'm loose. I have my vibe is going. So
that's I never thought about that because the first match is always the hardest, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
First match, first round, it's always the hardest. And the second and third, and when you get to the finals of a bracket, you're already not nervous about competing anymore. You saw the guy you're going against compete. You shake his hand. You know the referee already. It's like familiar territory, yo.
Exactly.
And the grind too, dog, like the 10 minutes, sometimes you just got like, bomb,
Yeah, you got to be in shape.
The tournament has that blood sport feel.
You got to be in shape to make it through all those matches. You can't be one and done, bro. You got to stay in there for 50 minutes.
Yo, Josh is a purist, JP, because we've asked a few people already. A lot of the high-level black belts were saying, like, yo, they like the super fight and money. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking easy. That's why they like it. It's easy. There's no
that's what everybody was saying, though. I always thought I missed tournaments because now even blue belts and lower belts get super fights, and it's crazy to me that I see a kid posting on his Instagram that he's gonna do a match and a super fight, and he's been training 2 years.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy. But then I told somebody that, and they're like, "Oh, it's good. You can make money." And I was like, "Oh, I'm just being a hater." And I was like, "What the fuck, man?" I was like, "How are you gonna be a blue belt and get a fucking 1 10-minute match and promote that shit?" You know? So I thought I was being a hater when my friend was like, nah, yo, they get to make money. What the fuck? And I was like, oh, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean?
It's all good.
But the brackets was fun, man. But yeah, that was a good one, yo. Yeah. That's crazy, yo. Anyways, yo, Big Josh, that's enough of your time, man. We had you already for like fucking 2 hours, brother. Yo, thank you so much for coming on. This time,
thank you.
Goodbye for real. Safe travels. Tell everybody where they can find where can we find all your tutorials for Josh Hinger, the Hinger Team Master?
Jiu Jitsu.
Let the people know.
JujitsuX.com.
JujitsuX.
Yeah. And
JujitsuX.com.
If you want to buy some tatami gear, you can use my discount code Hinger15. It's 15% off.
Sweet. We'll put that
Hinger
in the description.
code 15. Tatami geese. Get on it.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate the time, brother. Hopefully before your next match, we'll get you on again to do some breakdowns and stuff.
Of course. Yes. I'll see you guys soon.
See you, brother.
Hopefully, brother. Hopefully we get these chips in us, and we'll see you soon, dog.
See you guys.
See you.
Later. Peace.